Alright, YouTube. I'm going to stay at the shack. It's time you're on a tripod because everyone keeps complaining, oh, the camera's going everywhere. So, got a tripod out the trash. That's what y'all are on. So now y'all can't look at what I'm talking about. Plus, it's easier now. I can look at y'all can look at me, and it's a little more awkward for me now. So, what's been going on? It's been a while since I last shot one of these, probably a month, 2 months. A lot has happened. Let's start off with, I have about 5 cat bites I got this morning trying to trap a stupid cat to go to the vet. And a cat has a mouth infection, which means I'm probably going to have red lines of death going up my arm by this evening. I mean, I cleaned them all with alcohol and all that, but, it's a cat bite. So let's see. We'll go over things. So, car-wise, we'll go over that. So you remember I had the Expedition, and I had the green Crown Victoria. I had shot a video on that because it got totaled out, and I didn't really follow up with it. Well, the money I got from that, I had bought the white AMC. Got it running, did what I could. Insurance was going to be a problem once again, just like with the red van I had. So they wanted something like 120 or 140 a month for just liability for it to be registered as a regular vehicle. Which, because it doesn't qualify for classic insurance because I don't keep it in a garage, which that's impossible, I don't have a garage. So I decided to send that on to somebody who could enjoy it further than me. And I had a nice gentleman come along, offered me a substantial amount of money for it, in my opinion. My version of a substantial amount of money ain't nothing compared to other people. But way more than I paid for it, way more than I paid in parts, so I was making money off it. And he was including a 1997 Toyota Camry with 120,000 miles. Leather interior, had been sitting for 2 years. The battery in it was good. I hooked it up, started up, it drove off the trailer. Put air in all the tires, it needed new ones. I was going to buy them later. AC worked, radio worked, everything worked. The car was fantastic. Over there I still have the roof rack. I was hauling my kayaks on the roof of it. I had it for about a month, 2 months. And Thanksgiving morning, I was on my way here to come pick up a crock pot so I could cook a turkey. Dude pulls out in front of me. I was doing 50 down the highway right over here, and I didn't even have a chance to hit my brakes. I put my foot on my brake pedal as I was hitting him. He just came flying off a side street right out in front of me. I couldn't even try. Hit him doing about 50 in the driver's side door, bent the wheel, all that kind of stuff. The front end of my car was all crunched up. My knees broke the dashboard. I still have some bruises. You can kind of see a little bit from my kneecap and all. Back bothering me some. I had bruised my collarbone. So that wasn't fun. Geico was the other dude's insurance. They paid me off, gave me probably twice what the car was worth. I was pleased. Gave me probably 6 times what I would have paid for it. Pleased. Now I'm still kind of hurting a little bit from it. I'm probably going to feel it in 10 years or 20 years or whatever when I get older, but I'll feel a lot of things then. So I sat on that money for a little while, just seeing what was what. Back here, this is all the parts left from my brother's four-wheeler, that yellow Can-Am. I think I showed it to y'all when I had the black Can-Am. We don't want to go there, but that's all that's left. We parted it out because the engine in it was clapped. If I can grab this without using any of my bad fingers. That's what's left of one of the main bearings. If you can see that, it is completely destroyed. This is the good one. The bad one was in pieces. It had eaten the main bearing down to the rod. It was rod knocking really bad. So, as much work as the bike needed, it needed a full brake system overhaul, a bunch of electrical work, an engine rebuild, which was not going to be cheap. He decided it'd be better to part it out. Try and make most of his money back. Well, they had a guy contact him. He wanted the transmission, the rear drive axle, or rear differential, and the suspension for it. Brother's like, yeah, I'll come by and come look at it. And the guy was going to offer money, but he said, hey, I have this truck if you want to trade me. My brother has a 2004 Avalanche. The guy was offering him a 2005 Silverado 1500. So same body style, same design, all of that, just the pickup version, crew cab. My brother's like, no, I don't need another truck, but my brother might want it. He just lost his car a couple months ago. So he called me, I went over there, over in Belchase, and I was like, I'm interested, so what do you want? And he told me, and we made the deal. So now I have a 2005 Silverado with a 1-year-old transmission he had the paperwork for, and a 2-year-old engine, I think, because it has really good oil pressure, no noise, and no leaks. I've never seen a Chevy engine without the valve covers leaking, and it is clean. The reason I say this is because the original tachometer or odometer in it said 380,000 miles. Well, none of the gauges worked on the tach, anything. I mean, I think the tachometer went up to like 1,500 and then it stopped. It didn't go higher. Gas gauge, I think, worked, but I wasn't going to trust it. Temp gauge didn't work. Voltmeter didn't work. Oil pressure didn't work. Speedometer didn't work. So I was like, yeah, we're going to go with another gauge cluster. My brother found one from some guy parting something out, so the truck has 200,000 miles on it now. So it's something I got to disclose. I have no idea what the actual mileage is. It could have been changed. I don't know. I'll do a video soon on that. Walk around to that. I still have to do a walk around on my F-150. I traded the Expedition in on a 2015 F-150 with 40,000 miles, lifetime warranty, the whole deal, because I was tired of things breaking. As you know, the Expedition had 60, 80,000 miles on it when I was done with it, and the pinion seal was leaking on the rear end. It had a coolant leak out of the intake manifold. I'm trying to remember what else. Had one more thing. I think the transmission was starting to shudder or something. Whatever it was stuff I didn't want to deal with. The warranty literally just went out. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Somebody else is going to deal with this. Let the dealership have it. So that's what I did. I don't know if y'all can see me. I probably got my head chopped off this whole time. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I traded it for an F-150. I need to do a walk around of that too, but I have yet to do so because I've been super busy and dealing with some stuff, Everybody has times in life that they get kind of low, and I've been dealing with that, and I haven't had any drive to do anything. Other things we got, you can see it, mini bike's still doing good. We went to Mississippi last weekend. I wasn't feeling well, but my brother and sister and a couple of their friends went and proceeded to get everything muddy. This ran good. My brother wrecked it a few times, but who cares? He had fun and he didn't get hurt. I actually got to run this a few times, Kawasaki right here. Here, I'll make it where you can see. Probably really making things terrible. That Kawasaki. So I will be naming this thing the Valdez, because the engine is so wore out in this thing. The blow-by is so bad. It proceeded to lose about 4 quarts of oil in the time that they rode it. If you can see the amount of mud on this one compared to that one, it wasn't ridden that much. So it leaks a lot of oil out of the crankcase ventilation. So I am going to rebuild it. It's a nice four-wheeler. I mean, the bit that I rode it kept up with the Honda 420. Just dandy. So it will be getting fixed. I just got to save up to buy the kit for the rebuild. It's like $500 or whatever. Honda did fantastic. My sister said she was going to wash it. It's obviously she lied. It needs a wheel bearing, which I have right here. I will be replacing the wheel bearing soon. I'll do a video on that because I'm sure people will want to know how to change a IRS wheel bearing in one of these. It's not the most fun thing, but not the most terrible, and it'll have to happen because I have an idea or plan. And make sure y'all aim to where you can see again. Hold on, that's probably good enough. All right. So I may have discussed it before, but I have a goal for this year. In at least March, I plan to take my Honda. My grandparents live up in Johnson City, Tennessee, so right up in the tip top of Tennessee, up by Kentucky. I plan on doing is taking a week, maybe 2 weeks off of work and riding the Hatfield-McCoy trail system on my Honda. That's my plan for this year. That's like my big thing I want to do. Because I've been working here 10 years, and there's probably the last 2 years I haven't used any of my vacation, or hardly of it any at all. So maybe a year. I haven't used any vacation other than like a weekend or something. So it's about time I actually spoil myself a little bit and go on a proper vacation. And I can't see anything other than going to the Caribbean and just chilling by myself on my own beach. Riding a four-wheeler in the mountains sounds pretty dang good. So yeah, there's that. That's probably about it for this episode of the State of the Shack. Got the new Silverado I'll be doing videos on. I've got the Ford I might do some videos on. I'm kind of disappointed with that. Not in the truck, but the way things worked out. So I have two vehicles for a reason. I live on a pretty busy street with obnoxious neighbors. And the reason I like to have a junky car and a nice car is the good car is for the interstate and going nice places. The junky car is for leaving in front of my house and driving around town. Well, since I got the Ford, it was basically brand new. I mean, it was a few years old, but it was very well kept. It now has a bent rear bumper on the driver's side and a bent front bumper on the passenger side, from where my expletive neighbors back into it without saying anything and leave. And I know it's them because they have a white car, but I can't prove it. There are white marks on my bumper on both corners. There's damage from where I have parked my truck this way and they backed into it, or this way and they backed into it. But can't prove it, you know? So I gotta try and set up a camera. As you'll see in the upcoming video of the Silverado, if they back into this, they're blowing a taillight or a headlight out because this truck is this high off the ground. Unlike the Ford, which is, you know, normal height. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Have a better day than me.